My next guest just said to me before we went to air, you have the most interesting blue eyes. And I said, well, actually, they're green. And it's a bit of a shock, really, because he's worked with me for quite some time. He's my senior producer, Brett Tarver. And here he is.
Work spouse, perhaps? I don't know.
It's
a pleasure.
Yeah, stop right now. Now, you fought the law, and the law lost. Because what happened was you got a parking ticket.
I did.
Tell us the story.
Well, everyone is busy when they're going about their business. Setting the scenario, I was with my kids. We were going to play soccer. I'm a soccer coach. We found a parking spot close to the game, and we backed in. There was a hedge that was bordering the entire side of the street. So we just didn't see anything amiss. It was a perfect spot. Went about our business, came back, and we found a parking ticket on the windshield.
So how much?
And $100. $100.
Let's see a couple of photos here, because we want to illustrate that. Now, well, there's the parking ticket. Yeah, very exciting. Next one, though. Now, just keep it there for a moment.
That's my muscle car on the left there, the Hyundai Elantra.
So your car, there is a hedge, then there's buildings. No, stay on it, I said. Stay on it.
Yes.
So please, don't move. OK, thank you. Now, there's the car. Yeah. You can see the hydrant, but it's higher up. But there's a hedge in front of it. Yours is a silver car?
Silver car.
So yours is a silver one. There's a hedge. Behind that is a fence, because there's building going on. Behind that is a hydrant.
Exactly.
Now, next photograph now, from the point of view of that's your car.
That's me standing up.
You can't even see the hydrant.
I'm 6 feet tall, so that's me standing up. So you can imagine getting out of a car or sitting down. You'd never see it. It's just peeking up above the hedge.
How would the firefighters get to it, by the way? There's a hedge and a huge, strong fence.
They're going to be doing a lot of hedge trimming, I got to tell you, and demolition work to get in there.
Any more photos, or is that it? That's the end of the photos? Any more photos after that? No?
That's the scene of the crime. That's the scene of the non-crime. Right there.
You got it's $100, and that's a lot of money. So you decided
very distressing.
Well, yeah, I know you were weeping. We were trying to comfort you, and so you decided to fight it in court. And so
it was an outrage.
Well, how far did you have to go for court? Just around the corner, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I don't want to be too Toronto-centric here, but we're talking about a 25-kilometer drive between the courthouse and the place of the infraction.
In Toronto, which could be an hour, easy.
Easy. And this is 9 a.m. in the morning, rush hour, tons of traffic.
Right.
I had to book 3 hours out of my day to make this happen. So if this show is suffering a little bit, if the show's suffering a little bit tonight, that you can blame the traffic cop for that.
Actually. And but this is the great thing, when you get there, I hate it when the police and the law does this. They lie to you. They just told you lies.
Well, it's quite ridiculous. There's a lot of intimidation involved. Yeah. But I've got to tell you, though, there's no parking around where the courthouse is.
Of course.
So what did I have to do? I had to buy a parking pass.
How much?
$8 from the Toronto Parking Authority. So it's costing me $8 just to get inside the door.
Yep.
Then you go in and you wait in line with all the other poor schleps who are waiting around. And you think you're registering with a clerk, but no, it's the prosecutor who is there. And they immediately go on the attack. They want you to plead guilty. They make it very clear that the judge will side with the police officer if you have different viewpoints. He said to you,
if you plead guilty and pay, we'll cut it by 50%.
Exactly, exactly. They do everything they can to make sure that you don't fight.
And he said if you plead not guilty, I mean, he said it's either guilty or not guilty, which is true. But if you plead not guilty, there's no way the judge is going to believe you. He'll side with the cop. Doesn't matter what you say. So you better plead guilty.
I said that it was obstructed. You couldn't see the fire hydrant. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I said, well, there's a hedge, a construction fence. You can't see it. They're like, well, it's still your responsibility to look around. And the other part of this is they're meant to tell you, and I made a couple of calls today, they're meant to tell you whether there'll be a case. In other words, has the police officer turned up? If he's not there, the case is threat. The cop had not. There was no case. He knew that. He was trying to get you to plead guilty and pay. What sort of a lawyer is he if this is the job he's doing? With all due respect, I mean, you're not exactly Perry Mason on a good day here. But he wants to see prosecution, conviction. So he didn't tell you the truth. I had printouts of the scene of the crime ready to show the judge. I wanted to state my case, and the cop didn't show up. And I was dismissed of my $100 ticket, which is perfectly fine, but I don't feel validated here.
Well, no. Well, working with me every day, you'd never feel validated. But
where's my compensation? They put me out of my way. I had to go through all this time and effort and money just to get there, gas, driving all this way, taking time off work, paying for a parking pass. There should be compensation. I should get a freebie on my next ticket.
Well, the assumption, of course, and it's always the case with me, I've never fought a parking ticket, is you'll just phone up and you'll speak to the computer, you speak to R2D2, and you'll pay it, and you pay the extra bit of money because you're paying by Visa, and you won't challenge it because it's normally $40. I've had very few tickets, and when you do get them, usually, yeah, okay, I can see their point. Sometimes you think, well, I couldn't even read the sign, for goodness sake, but you pay it. If you go, there's a good chance the cop won't be there, and that's the end of it. But they didn't tell you that, and they made you think that you had to plead guilty.
Exactly.
That's immoral.
Yeah, it is immoral. And also this whole, the parking business is huge business. Toronto made huge amounts of money.
How much? You were phoning around today.
Yeah, parking just in itself, people buying passes, is between that and tickets that cops issue is over $200 million a year. There's about a ticket for every man, woman, and child in the city of Toronto. I'm sure that's the same in cities across the country. And it's a huge business for them.
And there's some. And Toronto's top parking officer is Zulfikar Kamani. From 2008 to 2012, he wrote almost 98,000 tickets, and he earns how much a year?
He's on the sunshine list. Over $100,000 a year this man makes. I call him the Terminator because I don't even know how to pronounce his name. But he almost 60 tickets a day over a 5-year period. It was about $4 million in tickets that this one person issued. And there's about 4. I saw a list of the top 5. They're all close on his heels. These people are just rapid fire.
Well, what you didn't know, it's a bit of a surprise for you, is Zulfikar Kamani is not only here, but he's also replacing you as producer. You've lost your job. But it's been a great pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.